in the first unit. So there we learnt about the data mining. What is data mining? Then what is the data mining life cycle? So in a chart window, you can write. In a chart window, you can write what we have learnt in first unit, and then that brief review we will have in 5 minutes, and then we will go with one tool which is used by the research fraternity for data mining application research. Okay, so in a way that tool is Weka tool. So today I will just have a brief demonstration for a Weka tool, and then some activities I have planned basically for you. So those activities we will have in next session, and then we will start for the next second unit. Okay, so in a way, like, as we are teaching in the online mode, so we should know whether you understood all the concepts or not. So in a way, I have planned certain activities also, those also we will have. So in a way, in chart window, you just type on what we have covered in the first unit. So what is data mining, that we have covered. Then what are the phases of data mining? What is data mining life cycle? If you can share the steps. I want one by one the steps in the chart window. Yes, all of you. Chart window. Task involved in data pre-processing. So before that, the data collection. First phase of data mining life cycle is what? Data gathering, data collection from various sources. And once the data is collected from various sources, then the second phase is data pre-processing. Okay, the second phase is data pre-processing. Then after data pre-processing, what is the next phase? Yes, answer from all. After data pre-processing, what is the next phase? Yes, answer is expected. So we do preserve the data into the data warehouse. So what is it? The next page is like, we do preserve the data in the data warehouse. Then after preserving the data into the data warehouse, what we do basically? Yes, answers are expected from your side. Okay, extraction of hidden patterns. So how we will go with extracting the hidden patterns? So for that, yes, the first phase is collecting the data. Then second phase is pre-processing. Then third phase is preserving the data into the data warehouse. Then next phase is, after preserving the data into the data warehouse, applying the data mining techniques. So which are the data mining techniques? Which are the data mining techniques? Yes, data mining techniques. I'm asking about, not pre-processing technique. Yes, yes. Association rule mining is one. Then after association rule mining, what is it? Yes. Yes, very nice. So, three major techniques are there. One is classification, another one is clustering, and other one is the association rule mining, and also the outlier removal. The regression techniques are also there. But the three main data mining techniques are classification, clustering, and association rule mining. And after applying the classification technique, after applying the data mining technique, we do go with what? The pattern evaluation is done, and after pattern evaluation, we do have the knowledge discovery. We do have the knowledge discovery. So for all the students, I'm again repeating the steps for the data mining. So how we can define the data mining? It's what? It's a non-trivial extraction. It is a non-trivial extraction of implicit, previously unknown, and potentially useful information from data. So this is like what? This is one of the popular definition of the data mining. So what it is? It's a non-trivial extraction of implicit, previously unknown, and potentially useful information from data. So this is like a popular definition of a data mining. And which are the steps? The data is collected, data is selected, data is pre-processed. After pre-processing, it is preserved in the data warehouse if required. Then the data mining techniques are applied. From data mining techniques, the patterns are generated. The patterns are generated. From that, the interpretation or evaluation is done by the different various stakeholders, and the knowledge generation is there. So are you clear with the basic phases of data mining? Yes. I want the answer in the chat window. Yes. Now from that, like what we covered in the first unit, the pre-processing techniques. Okay, so four major pre-processing techniques we covered. So in the chart window, write down the pre-processing techniques, and then we will go to the Weka tool. Yes, what are the pre-processing techniques? Pre-processing techniques, four pre-processing techniques we covered. I want the answer in the chart window. Data cleaning first, correct. Second, yes, I want the answers from other two. Okay, yes, cleaning, integration, transformation, reduction, discretization. Yes, very correct. Priya Ghayal, she has mentioned all: data cleaning, integration, reduction, transformation, and discretization. So today I will go with the Weka tool. I will show you the whole life cycle with few of the examples, and then in next session we will have certain activities. Okay, and with the activities I will show you one or two videos also for the data mining application. So we will make the session more interactive, and then we will move to the next unit. Okay, so now I will share with you the screen for the Weka tool. Yes, is it visible to all of you? The Weka tool window? Yes. So this Weka tool is developed in the University of Waikato. Okay. So for what? For knowledge analysis. For knowledge analysis. So it this is like the older version. If you want, you can search with the latest version also. In the New Zealand, basically in the New Zealand country, that Waikato University is there, and there they have developed this tool for knowledge analysis. So ultimately data mining is like what we do, go with the knowledge extraction basically. Okay, so in that way it is there basically. So now we will go with the explorer option of the Weka tool. So here in this Weka tool, they have given all the phases of the data mining which are required for the data mining application. So in a way, the first phase you may observe here is the option is for like the pre-processing. So what we can have, we can do the pre-processing. Okay. So for that, the input may be taken for the data sets through, you can open the existing database, you can open the database or data set through URL, you can open it through the database, or you have your own option also for generating the artificial data. So in
Ma'am, can't see the whole screen.
uh, just a minute, is it visible now?
No, ma'am.
Is it visible now? Just check.
Yes, ma'am.
It's visible, so you can unmute immediately, huh? And you can talk. If you have any issues, you immediately unmute your mic and you can ask your queries, no issues. Okay, so in a way, so this is like a Weka Explorer where the first option is given for like the pre-processing. Okay, so where you can choose your data set from any of the option, and if you are generating the database, the data set, artificial data set, then you can save it also. Okay, so in that way all the options are given. So here in Weka, they use a specific file format for a data set basically. So it is called as ARFF format. Okay, so it's a specific file format. So in a way, now we will go with opening a file which is available in the Weka itself. Okay, so now I am opening the data set. So I have installed it. Now in Weka folder itself, there is one data set folder. Okay, so here you may observe basically the file extension type is like what, it's a ARFF file format basically. Okay, so in that way the Weka support this specific file format only. Okay, so in that way you are expected to, what if the data set is there, you are expected to convert the files into the ARFF format, and for that online many more tools are available to convert a particular data set into the ARFF format. So the utilities are also available. So now today we will just go with the what we have basically. These data sets are available. So I am selecting one data set. Okay, this is CPU with vendor data set. So now I will say open the data set. So here what I have done, I have opened a data set. So here it shows basically. So how many instance the data set, metadata information, it generates automatically. So what it is basically, it's having a relation with the CPU data set. So as we have seen here, there is one more data set called as CPU, and the other data set is like what, CPU with vendor. So we have opened the data set CPU with vendor. Okay, there now you may observe basically The total number of instances in the data set are 209. Means what? Tuples. Number of tuples are 209. Then the number of attributes are 8. So which are the attributes? So here you may look into. These are the attributes. The vendor is there, my city is there, M min is there, M max is there, then cache is there, ch min is there, ch max, and classes are defined basically. So in that way, all these are the attributes. Okay. So which attributes to select, that also we may have by selecting all or none or invert or pattern. Okay. Then here, now it's showing what? It's showing the attribute wise analysis in this window. So just anyone can respond. So are you able to see this? Here the attribute details are mentioned basically, the analysis of the attribute. So which attribute? The first attribute, vendor. So where vendor, it goes with first, like in pre-processing, what we check, whether the data is missing or what. So
Ma'am,
here
can't see the whole screen actually.
can't see the whole screen. You are using mobile phone?
Laptop.
Laptop, then it should be actually. Just a minute. I will share it again, and you are requested to not to type in a chat window. You can unmute your mic and you can speak. Okay. So again, I am presenting, I am sharing. It will take 2 minutes. Okay. Now tell me, is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
It's completely visible, na?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So in a way, here again I will repeat what I have shown basically. So here what we have, the pre-processing option is there in the Weka. Then after pre-processing, after applying all the pre-processing techniques, whatever are required for the application, then all the classification algorithms are available, all the clustering algorithms are available, or the association rule mining algorithms are available. Then for classification or for clustering, we are expected to select the best attribute. So for selecting the best attributes, the options are available. Visualization option is also available. So in a way, like the whole life cycle of the data mining application is here available with like the implemented algorithms for classification, clustering, and association rule mining. Okay. So for that, in that we were just checking with the pre-processing. So where what we have done, we have opened a file from the Weka tool itself. I will share with you the Weka exe file. Okay. And you can have the installation also, so that you will go in more details. Okay. So here we have opened the file from where, in Weka folder, in data folder, we do have the various data sets available. It uses the ARFF file format. It uses the ARFF file format. So from there we have chosen the file with the name of like the CPU with vendor. So where it is showing all the attributes. So these are the all the attributes we have selected basically. Okay. Then here attribute wise analysis also it shows basically. Okay. So if I select here visualize all, so just check with basically. So it's showing what? The for all the attributes, the instances, how they are stored and in what range they are basically. So the whole graph it shows, it generates for all the attributes. So by one click, you are getting the analysis of what is preserved in individual attribute. What is the nature of? Okay, so in that way, basically, the features are available with this tool. So here it shows basically the missing values. How many missing values are there for individual attribute? So here for vendor, 0% are missing. Means what? It is already pre-processed. It is already pre-processed for the missing values. So no missing value. Then how many rows are, or how many values are distinct basically? So it shows, and how many values are unique? So that percent also it shows. And then this attribute vendor is of like what type? So here it is nominal, that is the categorical attribute it is. Okay, so in that way it shows the nature of the attribute. Then now what it is basically, we have discussed the various pre-processing techniques. So those pre-processing techniques here are available in filters. So I'm exploring all those. So here you can just check with basically. So here for the filters, so what we have studied basically, we do have the attribute selection. For what? For reducing the size. In the reduction technique we discussed about like the attribute selection. Then for the discretization we have, so here the discretization is also there. Then if we want to convert the data from the nominal to binary, then we can select this filter. Then so this is for like what? We can apply it on the attribute, and these filters can be applied on the attribute basically. Then for the instances we do have, we can apply on the instances. Means what? On the values of the data set we can have, we can apply these. On a similar line for the unsupervised also, again the techniques are there basically. For attribute, on attribute we can go with like the discretization is there, first order is there, then center is there, adding the values is there, adding the noise is there, change date format is there. So nominal to binary, nominal to string, normalization, numeric cleaner, numeric to binary. So all these, whatever we have discussed basically, so all these are available. Principal component analysis is there, so that filter is also available. So all these filters are available basically. Means what? Filters means what? The techniques which we have studied theoretically, na? The techniques which we studied theoretically. So all those techniques are there. So I will just go with the attribute selection. Attribute selection, I have, what I have done for a data set, I have selected a filter called as attribute selection. So here if you want to check with more details, so you are just expected to click on the options, and there it shows basically. So here you can take the help immediately on whatever the filter options are there basically. Okay, so these are like the filter options where you can go with the, you can select what should be the subset evaluation and what is best first. So all those things we can select basically. So in attribute selection again, these many additional extended filters are there. So we have selected what? We have selected the best first selection. Okay, so in a way, so it's like a very detailed basically we have to go with. I'm just giving the review of. Okay, so in that way, now I'm selecting this filter to apply basically. So I have selected filter attribute selection. So where what I have selected, I have selected the best first. Now I will apply it. So how to apply? Say apply. So what it has done, initially 8 attributes were there. Initially 8 attributes were there. So from which it has applied the filter and it has selected only 6 attributes. It has selected only 6 attributes. Okay, so in a way, what we have done, we have applied the data reduction technique here. We have applied the data reduction technique here. So in that way, basically, we can have the pre-processing basically. Okay, then the next is like, I will just have a review today, and then if you want, we can go in more details also parallelly. Then here, now what we have the three data mining techniques basically: classification, clustering, and the association rule mining. So I will just show one technique demo, and then we will, if you want more, we will go with in more detail in the next session. So classification. So here all the classification algorithms are given basically, are implemented. So first one is like what? In the classification, it's a decision tree. So based on the trees, these many algorithms are available. These many algorithms are available. So AD tree is there. So that is like the advanced decision tree. Then the decision stump is there. So whichever we can apply basically. ID3 is there, J48 is there. So when we will go with the classification, we will go with all these things basically. Okay. So in that way, all the algorithms are available. Then what we have, the base classification. In base classification again, these many algorithms are implemented and available, like naive based simple, naive based updatable. So in that way, many more algorithms, many more classification techniques are given here. So what I will do now, I will select one classifier. So here I am selecting decision stump. Then it asks for whether you want the testing option using the training set, supplied test set, cross validation, or percentage split. If I use first option, use training set, then I have to say start. So it applies classification technique on a data set where we have reduced the attributes to 6, and then here it shows the result as the correlation coefficient is what? Mean absolute error is what? And still it is executing. Relative absolute error, root mean square error, in that way it is showing basically. You can select the other options also. So more options are also here basically in detail. The options are. So parallelly, what are the technique we will cover now? Parallelly, I will show you the demonstration of that technique in Weka, using Weka tool basically. So in that way, now we will go with the other option. So now I will select supermarket data. Okay, now I am selecting supermarket data. So here you can just observe. So these many attributes are there. So 217 attributes are there. So I am selecting all the attributes now, and then if I apply attribute selection based first filter for pre-processing, then it shows only two basically, department one and total. But now for now we will not apply all those things. Now we will go with the all the attributes for like the association rule mining. Okay. So here association rule mining option I am going with, where what I can have now, I can choose. So here you can observe which algorithms are available. So here we are going to study only two algorithms for the association rule mining, that is a priori and the FP growth. So here both the algorithms are available basically. So if I apply a priori algorithm, okay, so here we do have basically, so what it is, everything I will show you in parallel with when we are going with the association rule mining algorithms. But here we can set the what are the attributes are there, what are the configuration attributes are there, we are expected to. So here we are applying what? The confidence measure. So here the confidence, so the value of the confidence that we want, then how many rules we need to get generated. So here we have mentioned 10 rules only. So in that way we can change the attributes. So all the attributes here we can change with the options basically. So now I will just start with. So it takes time to show the result. So now our a priori is executed. So with the minimum support 0.15, then confidence measure 0.9. So a priori algorithm is executed with number of cycles 17. Then all these are other attributes which are calculated, and the final result, if you see, the final result is this. So where the association rules are generated basically. So what it is showing basically, so it is showing biscuits, frozen foods, fruit. These are associated with like what? Bread and cake. So these are associated, these individual items like the biscuits, foods, fruit are associated with like what? Bread and cake with confidence 0.92. Then the next, baking needs, biscuits, fruits and total are associated with the bread and cake. So in that way with the confidence of like the 0.92. Then here you may observe basically the other option, the frozen foods, fruit. Now the attributes are, the values are different basically. The frozen foods, fruit, vegetables, high are associated with like the bread and cake with the confidence of 0.91. So here this is the output of like the association rule where it shows like the frequently associated items. So here as it's a huge data set, we have selected only 10 rules. We have selected only 10 rules. So if you want to change it, so if I apply here 25 rules, I want to see. If I have applied as I want to see 25 rules, and again if I start with, now it is getting executed as like we have asked for like the more rules, so it will take a little bit time. Yes, so I stated what I want, 25 rules. So now it's showing like what, 25 rules, 25 different rules. So here 18th rule you just check with what it is, party snack foods, cheese, fruit. So all these are associated with like what, bread and cake. So in that way the association rules, the frequently with the confidence it's showing basically. So in that way it shows the result for the classification algorithms, the clustering algorithm, the association rule, mining algorithm. So in that way, using this Weka tool. So if you are implementing your project in data mining, and if you want to test with your data set, then instead of writing the algorithm, then implementing, what you can have, you can use directly what are the classification algorithms are here, clustering algorithms are there, the association rule mining algorithms are there, those you can test. Even you can pre-process data with the filters which are available here. So in that way this was just like what, and this is like the visualization option. So whatever we are doing, so it goes with the visualization here, it shows the visualization. So very detailed study is expected basically for executing the, or for using this tool, as many more options are there and they are readily available, the help is also readily available. So this is like what, the tool which we can parallelly study with the, for to clear with the theoretical concepts. So in a way I think this is just what I wanted to show you basically, to visualize what is a data mining life cycle. So where what we can have, we can generate our own data set, we can pre-process it using the various filters. Then here the data warehouse is not there. Okay, so directly what we are doing, after pre-processing we are applying the data mining techniques, and we are getting the results in the visualization phase. And then the next phase is basically for like the pattern evaluation and the knowledge generation. So that is not here, basically that is available with the other tools like the rapid miner. So here the more focus is on like what, the pre-processing and applying the data mining algorithms. So this is the Weka tool which is used by the, so even if you are modifying your, you are developing your own algorithm, so that algorithm also you can, and if it is like the original algorithm, then you can share your algorithm with this Weka community, and if they feel so this is like a very good algorithm with a efficient result, then they may add it in their new versions. So that is also, this is a free open source available, free open source software available. Even if you want to see the code for the classification algorithms, the clustering algorithm, the association mining algorithm, the code is also available with the Weka tool. So all those things I will show you in the next session, and in detail we will go parallelly. When we are going with the association rule mining, we will parallelly go with the other details also. The visualization we will do using the Weka tool. So with this, now I will stop my session. If you feel any query, if any doubts are there, you can definitely share with me, okay, and all the things. So Google Classroom, whether for data mining, whether it is shared by Modani sir, yes, in chat window you can write down data mining classroom, whether it is created in the chat window. I want the answer. Okay, so Nisha, Atharva is saying yes, Nisha is saying no. Okay, fine. So that is my part. I will just confirm today with Modani sir, and we will share with you the class code, and you are expected to join it if you have not joined today. So that task we will complete today, and then I will be able to share with you all the resources. So what are the PPTs I have shared? So those also I will share it on a Google Classroom. Okay. So with this, I will conclude my session. Thank you. Thank you all.